Sometimes we think an ending is the worst thing that can possibly happen. But what if it's not? What if a moment of total collapse is actually the beginning of real freedom? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a woman named Elisa, and we're going to see how the end of her world was truly the beginning of her life.
So that's the question Elisa herself puts out there. It's a pretty shocking thing to hear, isn't it? I mean, for most of us, divorce means failure, pain, the end. But for Elisa, it was everything. This one question really sets the stage for her entire journey, from absolute despair to finding out who she really was. To really get why this ending was actually a rescue, we have to look at the life she was living before. And from the outside, it looked perfect, like she had it all. But what was really going on behind closed doors? Well, that's a totally different story.
And this just lays it all out, right? The huge gap between what people saw and what was actually happening. On the surface, everyone thought she was the perfect wife, so lucky to have a good marriage. But deep down, her reality was feeling completely lost, invisible in her own home. She was trapped. She was basically a shadow in a picture-perfect frame.
I mean, look at this. Her entire life was this relentless cycle of duty. 3 meals every single day. His shirts pressed perfectly every single day. She couldn't even buy a new dress without getting his permission first. Her days literally began with what he needed and ended with whatever mood he was in. And the craziest part? She genuinely thought that this complete self-sacrifice was love.
This moment, wow, it just says everything. One day, Elisa is really sick. High fever, her whole body is aching. And she's still standing there pressing his shirt. She was just hoping, for a tiny bit of kindness, maybe for him to say, hey, leave it, go rest. But instead, all he said was, don't leave wrinkles. And in that one cold comment, she said she felt something inside her just break.
After decades of living this way, of sacrificing everything, it wasn't even her who asked for a change. One evening, her husband, Richard, just sits her down and tells her he wants a divorce. He said he was tired, that he wanted his freedom. For Elisa, who had built her entire identity around being his wife, those words didn't just end a marriage, they completely shattered her world.
So you might think, okay, she's free now, right? Not even close. What came next wasn't relief. It was like falling into a black hole. The freedom Richard wanted for himself just became Elisa's new prison. She entered this period of just profound darkness. The house that used to be her whole life's work suddenly felt heavy, suffocatingly quiet, and her inner world was just filled with this stuff. I mean, look at this. 40% of her day was just pure pain. 30% was this crushing loneliness. And the rest, just silence and this hollow, empty feeling. The days just bled into one another. And here's the absolute core of it. Her identity was so tied up in him that when he was gone, she felt like she literally didn't exist anymore. At night, she said it was like these little voices in her head, whispering that she was worthless, old, that nobody needed her. And in that darkness, man, she believed every single word. But here's the thing about hitting rock bottom. Sometimes it's the only place you can start to push up from. After 6 long months of this crushing grief, something shifted. And it all started with a simple, unexpected moment in front of a mirror.
So one day, she actually makes herself look in the mirror, really look, and she sees this tired, pale woman staring back. And she just whispers a question she hadn't really asked herself in decades. Who are you? For years, the answer had been simple. I'm Richard's wife. But now, there was just this terrifying, empty space. She didn't get an answer from the mirror, but asking the question, that did something. Later that day, she found a little notebook, and her hand was literally shaking as she wrote just one sentence, I am still here. It wasn't some big declaration of victory, not yet, but it was an acknowledgement, the first tiny step to claiming her own existence.
That one sentence was like the first crack of dawn after a long, long night. It didn't solve everything, of course not, but it opened the door. So let's look at what she did next, her first real steps toward building a new life.
And the journey back, it started so small, like almost unbelievably small. First step, she cooked a meal for herself, something she wanted to eat for the first time in years. Then she remembered she used to love sewing. So she digs out her old stuff and just makes one stitch. And with every stitch after that, it felt like she was stitching herself back together. And then the real game changer, a neighbor actually paid her for her work. That little bit of money, it felt like $1 million.
And this is so important to understanding what freedom really meant to her. It wasn't just about being single, not at all. It was about earning her own money, making her own choices, and slowly, piece by piece, rediscovering that she had value, all on her own terms.
And you know what happens next? People started talking. That little hobby, that one little stitch, it started to grow. It became a small business. And she wasn't just earning money anymore. She was earning respect, something she had been starved for. People stopped seeing her as the poor divorced woman and started seeing her as Elisa, the artist, an inspiration.
And the most incredible part is what she did with that newfound strength. She didn't bury her past. No, she shared it. She started talking to other women, telling them her story, the pain, the darkness, all of it. She basically took her own tragedy and turned it into a beacon of hope for others.
So, Elisa has completely rebuilt her life. She's strong, she's independent, she's found her peace. But the story isn't quite over. The past, well, it was about to make a comeback. And she was going to have to make one last huge choice.
Can you imagine the shock? It's a quiet evening, there's a knock on the door, and when she opens it, it's Richard. He's standing right there. He looks different, older, tired. He tells her he's heard about everything she's accomplished and that he made a huge mistake. And then he says the words, "I want to come back."
And this was her answer. Now, the old Elisa, she would have collapsed. She would have been so grateful, but not this Elisa. This Elisa, who fought her way back from nothing, she looks at him with this incredible calm strength. And she says, "I forgive you, but I cannot take you back. I found peace without you, and I am not giving it up again."
I mean, just think about the difference here. The first time he said goodbye, she literally fell to the floor, completely broken. The second goodbye, she's standing tall, watching him walk away, not with heartbreak, but with peace. She was finally completely free. So we come all the way back to the beginning. The one thing she was certain had ruined her life, it actually gave her life back. That perfect cage had to be shattered so she could finally learn to fly. Divorce didn't destroy her, it allowed her to become who she was always meant to be. Elisa's whole journey is just such a powerful reminder, isn't it? That sometimes our biggest breakdowns can lead to our biggest breakthroughs. It's all about finding out who you are when everything you thought you were is stripped away. And it kind of leaves you wondering, right? What ending in your own life might just be a beginning you haven't seen yet? What part of your story is just waiting to begin?